You've probably heard about how convincing ChatGPT's outputs can be, but have you ever wondered what's the secret behind these human-like outputs? Language is a hallmark of human culture, and fluency is like a window into a new world. Could cutting-edge AI like ChatGPT hold the key to unlocking a new understanding of language? Today, we'll explore the relationship between ChatGPT and language and explore why this interconnection is crucial to both AI development and our human language abilities. So what is language? Well, at its essence, language is the cornerstone of human interaction, combining symbols, sounds, and structures to transmit ideas and emotions from one person to another. The fascinating thing is how many we've created, each with their own unique distinctions, all to serve the same purpose of communication. It's undeniable that language holds a crucial place in human life, literally impacting the way we categorize and understand information every day. So the question arises, can a robot lacking sentience truly grasp and attain a human-like level of understanding, a task previously believed to be unattainable? To answer that, we'll have to understand a little bit of how ChatGPT actually works. Imagine a library as vast as a city, filled with endless rows of books. Just as we humans gain knowledge and understanding by reading, computers can do the same but millions of times faster. To an AI model, this library-like collection of text is what we call a corpus, and it's used to train the AI model to understand language and generate text. Once it has been trained, the AI employs sophisticated algorithms and methods to understand language and make predictions. These techniques, like transformer networks and self-attention mechanisms, allow the AI to consider the context of words and use that information to generate more accurate results. In simpler terms, by using statistical probability, ChatGPT becomes masterful at predicting the next word in a sequence based on the preceding words. However, the question still remains, is ChatGPT just some glorified chatbot, or can it truly understand language in a way that's comparable to how we understand language? What is the relationship of language to us? Well, imagine a young child learning a language. Every day they're exposed to it through hearing people speak, and they gradually start to understand the meanings of words and phrases. Over time, through thousands of hours exposure and interaction, the child's language skills and understanding improve, consciously or unconsciously. Well, the same process can be applied to ChatGPT. The AI was trained on a massive amount of text data, providing it exposure to the patterns and structures of language. Through this exposure, ChatGPT gradually improved its ability to generate text, and to ensure its training was accurate, the data was carefully curated to provide ChatGPT with the right feedback, allowing it to refine its understanding of language. Now, let's talk a little bit about Stephen Krashen's input hypothesis. The input hypothesis states that humans acquire language by understanding input that is just beyond their current level of understanding. In other words, when we're exposed to language that is slightly challenging but still within our grasp, our language skills improve. So, in many ways, ChatGPT's process of learning language resembles that of humans. It starts with exposure to the language, moves on to interaction through its training data, and then refinement through feedback. In fact, one could even argue that the way ChatGPT and humans learn language is one and the same. We both have pattern recognition built into us as we constantly process information subconsciously. For example, you may have thought of a solution to a problem hours or even days after encountering it without even realizing. This type of subconscious processing is what makes us predict what words and phrases will come next based on patterns, much like ChatGPT. The only difference is that ChatGPT is an AI without senses, while we all know that humans can sense and see their outside world. Okay, now while I may have generalized, the idea that language learning occurs through input is at the core of what I'm trying to convey. If you feed an AI model with a mix of nonsensical and incorrect text, it would negatively impact the output quality, leading to jumbled and confusing language. Additionally, if you only fed it with strict grammatical rules and linguistic facts, the AI's output would lack the natural flow and tone of human speech and miss so many more subtleties that makes human communication unique. While it's still not perfect, I think it's important to remember that ChatGPT is still in its infancy stages, as it's only been around for a few months. I have no doubt that its capabilities will continue to evolve and improve over time, especially as it gets more exposure to language and interaction, so there's a lot to look forward to. I mean, with exponential growth on the horizon, it'll be very fascinating to see how ChatGPT evolves over the next coming years. So what can we learn from this for our own studies? Can just studying grammatical rules and linguistic facts lead to natural language output? In my opinion, the answer is no. To achieve natural language output, simply memorizing grammar rules and linguistic facts is not enough. You're gonna need a lot of immersion in the language, as it's crucial to gain a deep understanding of its natural usage through real-life practice, reading, watching movies, etc. Only through active engagement will you be able to eventually grasp the subtleties and unwritten rules that makes the language flow naturally. Although the learning process through input still requires effort, it becomes much more enjoyable and rewarding as one gradually begins to understand more. The more comprehensible the language exposure, the greater the progress one can make. Now, why is it so important for AI to be able to understand language a little bit better? Well, there are several points that I'm going to go over, and these are the ones that I think are the most pertinent. The first one is going to be improved accuracy, and so with a deeper understanding of language, ChatGPT will be able to better understand different subtleties in the language and provide more accurate responses based on whatever questions you may ask it. As well, it will be able to understand what context it's being used for, therefore better being able to provide personalized responses and more relevant answers to what you ask it as well. Now, with better accuracy and context awareness, its ability to have good conversations that mimic that of a human enhance way more, as it will be able to provide more natural and engaging conversations, which will make it easier for users to use it and interact with the model. Now, not only that, it may be able to better handle ambiguous situations where there's not always a clear-cut answer, and have a more enhanced ability to handle rare or not often used vocabulary words. So in these situations, it will be better able to handle them because its language understanding is much greater. It will be able to ask better questions to clarify things and lead the user to giving the model the information it needs in order to answer things, just as we humans do when we need to clarify more on a certain topic. And so if ChatGPT is able to completely master the language and be able to handle it in all certain circumstances, this will lead to a very sophisticated and effective ChatGPT model that can better understand and meet the needs of its users. Now that's very powerful, and in order for it to do that, it must be able to understand language better. And so, do you think I made a fair comparison with how ChatGPT learns languages and how humans learn languages? Do you think it's similar? Do you think it's not? Has ChatGPT actually mastered language? I personally think it's really close to obtaining a high level of mastery in the language, and in a couple of more years, it's going to be ridiculously accurate to humans, and we may not even be able to tell the difference. So that's going to be it for today's video. And, as always, good luck in your journey out there, everybody. I'll see you again in a future video.